Kat at Kattalestv. I'm literally a couple hundred feet away from the courthouse, the criminal courthouse downtown Los Angeles, with an update and some questions for all of you inquiring minds that want to know more about the Suge Knight TMZ conspiracy. What do I mean by that? Well, if you haven't heard, Suge Knight, famous for being the CEO of Death Row Records, connected to Tupac, Suge Knight is known for running over people, intimidating people, threatening people, all kinds of shenanigans. Not that this has been anything new in his history, because his criminal past has gone on for a long time, since like 1990s, the mid-1990s. But getting to the clear point, recently his girlfriend, Toi-lyn Kelly, was indicted, as well as his business partner, Marion Blankenship. They were indicted for selling a surveillance footage to TMZ that was under a sealed court order not to be shown. Now, if you've heard about the story, it roughly took them 5 months to negotiate a deal with TMZ. There's a lot of interesting questions that come up with this case. One of them is, why did it take 5 months to get to that monetary sum of $55,000 allegedly? Okay, originally the story goes that they asked for something like $500,000, but they were negotiated down to $55,000 for a videotape of the surveillance footage showing Suge Knight running over Mr. Terry Carter leading up to his death on the scene. Now, another question is, the reason why they released that tape was to maybe taint the jury, to try to get a mistrial, who knows? But another question is, why would TMZ, run by an attorney, Harvey Levin, knowing the law, why would they buy that tape, knowing that it's under sealed court order? And the reason why I keep repeating this, everybody knows, in regards to TMZ, they have contacts in law enforcement, in the judicial system, in the emergency hospitals. In other words, if somebody who's famous is involved in a car crash or a DWI or a crime, they're one of the first news agencies to know, because they have contacts, again, in multiple departments that have their finger on what's going on and who gets in trouble. Now, knowing all that, and knowing that TMZ is run by an attorney, why would they buy that tape? And then also, why would they help someone like Suge Knight, who used their site as a platform to intimidate, to threaten, to harass people, and also to promote his side? Why would they do that? I mean, even recently, Mr. Knight was on the Who Shot Tupac, Biggie Small documentary via a jailhouse interview on the phone. Now, what's interesting to me is, I thought Suge Knight was under a court order not to be able to use the phone and have very strict communication privileges, because he was caught threatening Mr. F. Gary Gray, the director of Straight Outta Compton, via one of his other attorneys, Matthew Fletcher, and he's been accused of using his time with his visitors to get nefarious acts done, or attempt to get nefarious acts done. So again, his girlfriend, one of his baby's mamas, Toi-lyn Kelly, is indicted for selling that footage, as well as his business partner, Marion Blankenship, who used to be a practicing attorney but got in trouble around 2006, and he resigned practicing law. So it's fascinating. There's lawyers involved and getting in trouble for doing nefarious acts. His girlfriend's in trouble for allegedly you know, selling that tape. And the other question is, who sold the tape? Who's the person, I'm sorry, who negotiated a deal with Toi-lyn Kelly and Mark Blankenship from TMZ? Was it Harvey Levin? Was it Diana Dazaraf? And if you don't know anything about Diana Dazaraf used to run the video department, the video news department. Like, she would send certain reporters out to cover certain stories. And Diana Dazaraf left TMZ under strange circumstances, I think around 2015, 2016, and she literally fell off the radar. Nobody knows who she's working for. She used to be connected to Access Hollywood, but I don't know where she's working now. So the other issue is you have an attorney who runs TMZ, Harvey Levin, knowing the law, having either himself or one of his employees negotiate that deal to buy that sealed document under court order, the video. Why would they do that? Are they trying to help Mr. Knight? Are they going for a mistrial? These are the questions that inquiring minds want to know. So do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Give me your input, why you think TMZ did what they did. Is TMZ pay to play? Do celebrities or people with money, lawyers, do they pay TMZ to promote positive stories similar to what Facebook did with the Russiagate story? Are they trying to change the jury pool? Are they trying to taint the jury pool? These are questions that need to be discussed. And who is the person that sold that tape? I mean, did the deal, you know what I mean? Like, was it Diana Dazaraf? Is that why she's not working for TMZ? Was it Harvey Levin? And how come TMZ is not in trouble for buying or having bought that tape? Because it was under sealed court order, and they knew that. They had to know that because they have someone in all the courthouses processing information and determining what stories they want to cover. So yes, I'm very interested to know what you think about this, and I'll be speaking more of this court case and other ones like it, because it's fascinating to know how the media gets involved with stories and what their agenda is. I think we have to start really questioning what people's agendas are, and are they getting paid? And if they are getting paid by, let's say, if TMZ is paying Suge Knight's defense, I mean, like, well, in other words, let me just rephrase that, sorry. Well, TMZ bought that video for $55,000. So in essence, they paid to help Suge Knight's defense. On the flip side of that, how much is that worth? Because TMZ got paid in regards to the notoriety of having that tape and putting it on their website, as well as allowing other people to use that tape under licensing fees and or just getting publicity because everybody knew it was TMZ's tape. So they made money off of that surveillance tape that was under court order. Is there any responsibility to TMZ for doing that? Do they need to come clean with who is pay to play with TMZ? Those are the kind of questions that I find interesting, and maybe we should start looking into when we read or watch certain entertainment news sites and we take them at their word. We don't necessarily know or understand what their agenda is. So if you're like me and you want to know more and you want to talk about it more, like I said, write a comment down below and we'll talk about it later. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kat from Kattalestv. You can find me on Twitter. Check out my Patreon account at Kattalestv. It's Kattalestv on Patreon, and on Twitter at Kattalestv. I appreciate your watching and your support. If you like this video, do a thumbs up and please press subscribe. Bye.